When Charlotte Brontë wrote her great love story between Jane Eyre and Rochester, she wanted her writing to be judged on merit and not with any reference to her gender. Not least because she was writing frankly about female desire. Brontë was 30 years old when Jane Eyre was published in 1847, under the guise of an autobiography edited by Currer Bell, a pseudonym adopted by Charlotte Brontë. The book was an overnight sensation. Today, the British Library has the only surviving manuscript. I can't believe that we're sitting in front of an original manuscript of Jane Eyre written by Charlotte Brontë herself. The handwriting is so precise. The whole thing seems immaculate and neat, as though this is all very thought through.
She would hesitate to choose the right word or the right expression just to get it right.
I'm just astonished that these pages do give off a kind of atmosphere, don't they?
Yeah, they do, definitely. It's beautifully, beautifully neat. And this is the fair copy of the manuscript. We know that she would start out writing in pencil on lots of little sheets, and then she would work from those and produce the fair copy, which is what the publishers were sent.
Bronte's manuscript shows how careful and considered she was with the writing of her novel. But intimate letters survive that reveal a far more emotionally unrestrained side to the author.
One of the most significant periods in Charlotte Bronte's life was in the early 1840s, when she travelled to Brussels to study languages. And we know that she fell in love with Monsieur Heger. He was the married professor of literature who taught Charlotte Brontë. Heger was the first man outside her family who'd actually recognised her genius, and she responded to him in a very passionate way. It was a really formative period in her life.
And before I cast my eyes upon this letter, I just have to know, was it reciprocated?
No, no.
From the first paragraph it says it's been 6 months and she's going over the date of her last letter that she wrote him.
They came to an agreement that she would only write one letter every 6 months. And when she kept that agreement and he still didn't respond, she would fire back with quite an angry, passionate, sort of pent-up letter.
You can almost tell that the hand is clenched. The writing hand
right.
is absolutely clenched. Well, I don't think I can puzzle out any more of the French because it's so tiny.
This is a translation of the letter.
I will tell you candidly that during this time of waiting I've tried to forget you. And when one has suffered this kind of anxiety for 1 or 2 years, one is ready to do anything to regain peace of mind. This is her first sort of crush, really.
I think it's more than a crush.
When a dreary and prolonged silence seems to warn me that my master is becoming estranged from me, I lose my appetite and my sleep, I pine away. The thing that strikes me immediately is that she refers to him as my master, which is exactly what Jane Eyre does to Edward Rochester. She calls him my master throughout.
Heger played a huge part in the shaping of Rochester's character and the relationship between Jane.
But does he torment her deliberately in the way?
I think he did, yeah. He was aware of his power over his pupils, and particularly over Charlotte Brontë.
How long did it take her to write Jane Eyre?
It took her from starting it to actually sending the fair copy to the publishers. It was 12 months, and it was not long after the Brussels period. We know the Thornfield section of the novel was completed in 3 weeks. So it seems like she was very confident.
And that this was coming from very deep inside.
Coming from very deep inside.